Guys, today we've got a massive Jordan shock drop coming very soon. The collapse of two sneaker empires. We just got first looks at the Black Cat 4s, but is it just me or is something not right? Welcome to Sneaky Sunday. Unfortunately, not Sneaky HQ, so I apologize if the visuals just look a little bit crazy and the lighting, but no matter where I am in the world, you know I'm gonna be doing Sneaky Sunday. With that being said, we've got a lot to recap and a lot to get into in terms of upcoming stuff, so let's start off with the recap, all right? Grape 5s, who got them? Who managed to get a W on these things? One of the biggest Jordan releases of this entire year, so fingers crossed most of you grabbed them. Tyler, the Creator's collaboration with Converse also dropped. 6 different sneakers that you could have picked up. I don't know if they sold out or not, but if you picked them up, let me know. Then of course we had the Pata Nike Air Max 90 collection. Now there is going to be another release, but the main Pata release did go down. Let me know who secured a pair. Like I said, there is going to be another one on June the 24th. That is through the Nike Sneakers app. We also got a little look at the other colorways. So we know that the 2 that dropped was the green and of course the blue, but these are the 2 that we have not seen yet, which should be dropping later on this year. But we got the darker one, which we have seen, and then this lighter one. This is the little secret one that I don't know if it's going to be like stupid limited or something like that, but they took their time showing us this one. I do quite like it, even though I do think that the neon green and the blue are probably the best one. I'm going to be putting my name in the hat for the Nike Sneakers app release, but yeah, some pretty solid stuff. Moving on to some releases that are right around the corner, we got the Ma Maniere collection. They're dropping 2 different sneaker models later down the line on the 27th of June. So if you like the Air Max 95s, we got those. This is kind of like an alternate colorway. This one I kind of like. It's like brighter. You can see all of the layers really nicely. People loved the first one in terms of the quality, so you could definitely expect that. And then the Air Forces are just kind of like, it's okay. It's just triple white, so it's going to be the same as kind of like the, I don't know what color that was, like a light taupey pink color, but it's the same as that, just all over white. Incredible quality. That's what you can expect. Really, really nice pair. Stupid, super cool packaging and all of that goodness. So yeah, 27th for both of these. We just got first looks at an upcoming New Balance collaboration with Joe Fresh Goods. This time's on the brand new 2000 model. They're going all pink for this one. Unfortunately, it's going to be exclusive to Paris. I imagine there's going to be more drops because this was literally just like they were handing out pairs in Paris, like I think for Paris Fashion Week, and that was yesterday on the 21st. So this is the sneaker, just basically, you know, all over pink, nothing too crazy. I cannot wait to see more collaborations and colorways on this sneaker model because I've been wearing the blue ones, brought them with me on vacation. They are phenomenal. One of my favorite summer sneakers, honestly. They get better the more you wear them. Either way, just wanted to show you this and let you know that we got more in the pipeline for the 2000 silhouette. So if you missed out on the first ones or you don't like the blue color, there's more coming, don't worry. Nike's running it back for the sweaty toe box Air Force Ones. That's right, they're doing another translucent toe pair. The first one was like the Invisible Woman ones or the Fantastic Four Air Forces. And because Fantastic Four is dropping again, I guess they're dropping these. It's going to be a full 2025 release, and I believe the new Fantastic Four movie is dropping pretty soon. This is the first one, and that is one of the worst pictures I have seen. That is like, why do the toes look like they've been smoking in that bitch and it's like yellowed out? This one's a little bit better, like at least it's not completely translucent, like you do have the white leather going around, so it's not going to be like full toenail exposure. For the most part, yeah, it's just transparent, you can see right through it. Either way, these are going to be dropping later on this full time. Let me know what you think and would you wear them? Salehe Bembury just debuted his brand new running shoe with Puma. I believe it's a running shoe. Yeah, it's definitely a running shoe. This is called the Vellum Nitro. I actually really like the Puma Nitro cushioning. It's super soft and comfortable. This is it. He showcased this picture. This is something that we did kind of see, I guess, him teasing it slightly, but never this in like this amount of detail. He even showcased this shot of him wearing them. Very cool. Like it's cool to see Salehe Bembury do something with running shoes because I like the way that this looks. I think there's going to be like a little, you know, Paris Fashion Week kind of exclusive drop, but like a main release is going to be happening later down the line this holiday season. Now, on the topic of people getting their own signature sneakers, Salehe Bembury, he finally decided it's time to break out his own thing. I think this is going to be completely separate of any brand, so this is not like a collaboration. This is literally just Salehe Bembury's sponge brand, and he definitely outlines that in the story. He says this is part of the tooling of the sneaker, so I guess this is the outsole with the sponge text on it, and he says, to be clear, this is not a drop. drop, I am starting my own footwear brand. That I think is pretty cool. I think we'll see some wild stuff from Salehe Bembury without the restrictions of working within, you know, different sneaker brand models. His design language is very, very apparent. It's easy to know what a Salehe Bembury sneaker looks like. It's gonna be colorful, it's gonna be abstract, it's probably gonna have his fingerprint all over it. And I'm pretty excited to see what he cooks up. I mean, I do like a lot of Salehe Bembury's designs, so it'll be interesting, but no timeline on this release. Maybe since he's already started teasing it somewhere towards the end of this year or maybe next year. But if we get any more updates, I'll let you guys know. Adidas has finally decided to give Bad Bunny his very own signature sneaker model after doing a bunch of different collaborations on like campuses, forums, and a bunch of other models. Now he's getting his own thing, and they're calling it the Bad Bo 1.0. Now this is going to be a spring 2026 drop, and we have some images of Bad Bunny wearing them, which is this. It looks like some kind of retro basketball sneaker. Honestly, I thought it would have been a little bit crazier. It's hard to really know what Bad Bunny's style is when it comes to shoes, because like we know his slight flair on different models, but that's kind of changed every single time. Like with the campus, he seemed to like really chunky things. Same thing with the forums, and then he went super slim with the ballerinas. But like, what is Bad Bunny's signature touch? You know, like what makes it a Bad Bunny sneaker? I don't know. Either way, this pair is going to be dropping in multiple colors because we've seen that. This black and white one does look pretty cool. It could be a nice sneaker. I'm not entirely sure. These images don't really show much, but from what we can see here, what do you guys think? Do you think Bad Bunny will do well with his own signature sneaker, or should he just continue doing, you know, Adidas models with his touch? Sticking with Adidas, this is a really cool model, which I think could look pretty dope when they do drop it later down the line. So this is called the Adidas Megaride AG, and it's based off of their Megaride cushioning, which is basically based off of Nike Shox. Either way, I really like the look of these things. Look at them. They're pretty damn dope if you ask me. The Megaride is not the most comfortable shoe because like this is literally just plastic underneath your feet. It's not like the Nike Shox, you know, has a little bit of shock absorption. It's a little bit more comfy, but they look damn cool. I love what they did with the upper. I think it matches the crazy midsole a lot. Really cool images over here. It kind of looks like the Adidas Uruku to some degree on top, like a retro runner with the futuristic midsole. Like, yeah, it's a dope sneaker model. Now, as far as the release, unfortunately, this is a 1 of 60, so insanely limited and hard to get, but I assume they'll do some more colorways later down the line and we'll actually see a release of this. Right, we've got some Jordan brand stuff to get into, and this one's pretty exciting. A lot of people have a really positive, I guess, first initial impression of this sneaker, and it's the brand new Air Jordan 40. Here we go, guys. Take a look at these things. This is a pretty big departure from, I think, some of the last ones that they did. These things look premium. They also look full of tech because, as you can see, we've got a little label here saying Zoom X. So that could be very interesting. I know that they probably just added like a little slither underneath the shoe, but obviously it's a basketball shoe. You definitely don't want them too soft. But this is it. Like, look at this, man. This is pretty cool. It definitely takes a little bit more on like the wearable. I don't know, maybe it's like a little bit fear of God. It just looks premium. It looks clean. It looks minimal, and it also looks exciting. Here's a little closer shot where you can see some of the materials, like it's got some leather on the sides. I believe the toe box is suede based off of this shot. The laces are kind of tucked inside this like overlapping thing, which I think is a little bit more Adidas if you ask me. Like this just general shape is something that I've seen Adidas do a lot with the tongue. But overall, I think this is pretty decent. I kind of wait to see some more shots of these things, maybe see what they look like on foot. But let me know what you guys think of the brand new Jordan 40. Right, let's talk about this. You guys do need to know about this shock drop because it is happening within the next couple days. I probably should have started with this, but I just, we're talking about it now. The Jordan 1 Shattered Backboard is going to be dropping very, very soon. So this information is courtesy of Stashed Sneakers. They reached out and said, hey, do you want some information that we got about a drop that's happening early next week? And I was like, hell yeah. So Stashed Sneakers is basically like a Discord group that kind of has a bunch of members, and they give out information on different releases and shock drops and stuff like that. Either way, they've got a little article over here on the Shattered Backboards, and there's going to be a release for the EU and the US. So that's pretty important because sometimes it's kind of split. So how many pairs are going to be releasing? Apparently 55,000 pairs, which is pretty limited. So that's going to be worldwide. So the EU is probably not going to get that many. And the official main release is going to be July the 12th. So I think we heard that it was going to be in August, like the 23rd or something. That's not the actual actual release date, it's the 12th of July, so make sure you remember that. That's gonna be like the regular, you know, bunch of retailers through the Nike sneakers app, etc. So we're not entirely sure of the exact date, but it should be Monday or Tuesday that the drop goes down, and it's gonna be some kind of special release like a scratch or a stash release, which you have to be in a certain location. But 55,000 pairs is pretty rough, so you definitely want to be prepped. If you can get them on Monday or Tuesday, I would probably try for that, because yeah, I mean 55,000, way more limited than we thought. I think that's more limited than obviously the UNC ones that just dropped, the Rare Airs they're saying, and the Union LA. I think maybe that was like closer to 60,000. But either way, there you have it. If you want more specific information, I don't know if like exactly when it goes live, you can check out Stash Sneakers. They do have memberships and stuff like that, but I appreciate them for giving us this information so we know when it's coming through. But also, just to be clear, they're not sponsoring or anything like that. They just said, hey, do you want this information? And I was like, sure, yeah, let me tell them. Right, let's talk about these Black Hat 4s for a minute, because we just got some actual decent images of these things, and is it just me, or are they looking a little bit weird? Now, as far as like the quality and everything, I'm not too mad at that. Like, they look kind of fine. There's nothing really wrong here. It might even be elevated quality, but the color just seems, I mean, it could just be the photos, but it just seems like it's not really black. It almost looks like an anthracite or like a grayish color. Like, I cannot be the only one seeing that. Like, maybe someone else is, and these are gonna scuff like crazy as well. But focusing on the color, like, surely, let me know down in the comment section if these are looking a little bit strange. Not really complaining, because I don't think it's that big of a deal, but yeah, I just thought I would show you guys, see what you think. The material just looks like it might scuff very easy. Regardless of quality, I think just like that is the nature of this. Maybe something like the infrared 6s or something like that. Stitching also seems very, very apparent. It's hard to tell with a black, because I know if this person's taking it with iPhone like photos or like any like mobile phone, it's gonna kind of, you know, make the colors look a little bit weird. So these could be fine, but as of right now, these pictures, I'm hoping we see some more, and I'm hoping we see some like official retailer ones pretty soon. These are going to be dropping officially on November the 28th. That's Black Friday, so fingers crossed. I know a lot of people are after these things, but I'd love to know what you think of these first images. We also just got first looks at the freaking Chicago lows, the Air Jordan 1, and the big swoosh is back. This is something that we were kind of like, is it happening? Is it not? Because we saw some like weird other images, which obviously weren't right. So take a look at this. This is what we're getting. They're looking as good as you could want them. This is exactly what I wanted. The leather even looks pretty decent. The red in particular looks pretty nice. It looks like it's gonna be pretty soft. The white, I can't really speak on. It doesn't look like it's gonna be anything amazing. It kind of looks like it's gonna be standard Jordan 1 leather. But yeah, this is gonna be another must-have for this year. This year is going crazy. So release date for these is November 15th. So November is kind of cooked. There's so many things dropping. Either way, let me know what you think about these. Let's keep it moving. Another big Jordan release is going to be the Air Jordan 10 Steel, and it is a little bit controversial. The box, the special packaging is back. It's looking real cool, but the controversial detail is the toe box, this little toe box over here. So this was a detail that was discarded before because Michael Jordan didn't like him. He said, we want a clean toe box, get rid of the line. Now they're bringing it back. So I don't know if that's like kind of like a cool detail to have on there, or if people are just like, get rid, we do not want that. Either way, for this year, it is coming back, and that is August the 2nd for $200. Let me know if that changes your opinion on these, if you're still gonna be going for them, or if that's like a big deal. We also just got some much better images of the Tokyo 5s that are going to be dropping September 27th now. So take a look at these over here. You can see them. These are the actual shots. I think we've just been taking a look at like the shots from the previous one for so long, but you can tell this is the new ones with the little yellow toe box over here. Here's the underneath. Here's all of the shots that you could ever want. Yeah, this is another must-have. It's just crazy. It's just like summertime, and then it's just jam-packed with insane sneaker releases. Either way, let me know what you think about these, but let's keep it moving. A little update from last week's video. Remember those like purple Jordan 4s that I showed you? Well, apparently they are actually going to be a Lakers colorway, and they're set for All-Star Weekend next year. Here's a little bit of a better mock-up of what they should look like. A little bit more black in here, which I hope is the case. A translucent midsole and outsole would be crazy. I don't know if they would do that. Makes them look a little bit strange. I don't know if I've seen that before. Either way, you've got the purple nubuck, you've got the yellow accents. This is a pretty decent mock-up if it does look like this, but some of the other mock-ups that I've seen have made them look a little bit weird. We're really speculating over here. The drop is going to be at some point February 2026, so I just wanted to give you a little update on what they should look like. Travis Scott is going to be doing a pretty big collaboration pretty soon with the NBA, the NFL, the MLB, and the NHL. All of them. I mean, Travis Scott just collaborates with anyone and anything. So here's some early images of what this looks like. This is going to be a full 2025 drop. We got some t-shirts, some hoodies, some more hoodies. This actually looks like pretty solid stuff. I would definitely pick up some of this stuff. It's always a little bit hit or miss with Travis Scott. Like, I ordered the Barcelona jersey and I think that's like 10 weeks until it ships. So just be prepared for long wait times. But yeah, this is a big collaboration coming on later on this fall. Let me know what you think. We just got a release date for the Total Orange Nike Kobe 6 Protro. We've taken a look at these a bunch of times, but I just wanted to kind of remind you of that release date because I don't think we had that. July the 18th. This is a PE version that they're making a GR colorway of. Very, very nice in my opinion. The orange goes hard. I'm loving this colorway. I think this is like a really, really cool one for the summertime. Just want to remind you of that. 190 retail. Let's keep it moving. Right, let's talk about this freaking drama. It is getting insane. So we've got three, I guess, people involved in this drama to some extent. We've got Tjskicks, we've got Nike, and we've got the shoe surgeon. The shoe surgeon seems to be in the center of all of it. So let's start with that. So earlier in 2024, Nike decided to sue the shoe surgeon. I have to really say that slowly because it's surgeon, it gets rough. Either way, Nike went after him for creating customs. They had a lot of allegations against him, basically saying that he was not necessarily making customs, but he was basically just creating fakes and also teaching other people how to create fakes. We went over all of it, so I'm not going to go too deep into all of the details of the original lawsuit, but the end of it is that Nike won. They reached a settlement. So as part of this settlement, he is now permanently banned from selling any customs that could confuse people into thinking they're official Nike products. He's also had to pay Nike an undisclosed amount. I don't know why they're not disclosing it. Potentially could be pretty rough, not entirely sure. And importantly, he is still allowed to make one-of-one customs that are based off of original products. So he can take like, I don't know, a pair of Shattered Backboard ones and then paint it so that it's like blue or something like that. But I think that's like allowed from Nike because they kind of like the promo. He does like a lot of customs for celebrities and stuff like that. So I'm sure Nike loves that part and wants him to move forward with that. We could have assumed that this would have happened. Nike wins, they steamroll over it, but the story of the shoe surgeon is not over because it gets a little bit crazier. Enter Tjskicks, which was actually a story that has been kind of brewing for a while now, and it gets pretty crazy. So essentially how it goes was that there was a lot of people complaining about Urban Necessities, which is a sneaker store that Tjskicks owns or owned. Because it was a consignment store where people could sell their shoes through the store, a lot of people were complaining that they weren't able to get their money from the store, or just a bunch of people had like negative experiences selling through there. But finally, we got statements from both Tjs about the situation and the shoe surgeon. So the story goes is that Tjskicks actually hasn't been involved with the business Urban Necessities for about 3 years now. He says all of this in a video, but I'm just gonna kind of summarize it because it is pretty long and he does go into a lot of details. If you're very interested, I definitely recommend hearing his side of the story though. But to summarize, he says that in 2022, his wife was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer, so he stepped back from the store to take care of her. Around that time, this is when he met these people from Shoe Surgeon's team. He also met Dominic, which is the shoe surgeon's real name. So they came in and they were like, hey, let me help you. We can be involved in the business. They ended up making a deal, which would ultimately be a pretty rough deal for Tjskicks, according to him. The deal ended up cutting him out of control of the company, but he was still responsible for paying debts. He tried multiple times to get bought out, even for free, but claims that the surgeon and partners never signed anything to finalize it. He was eventually fired because I think he was labeled as an employee, but still stuck with a fallout, including thousands owned to sellers, these people who are selling their shoes through consignment assignment. Now that's Twojskicks' side of the story, but the shoe Surgen and the Urban Necessities team, which is now owned by them, they also released a statement, and they have a very different opinion. They released this over here where they say that we're aware of the ongoing statements about Urban Necessities. They said, from the start, we entered this partnership with integrity and a genuine belief in the brand. Despite our efforts, including investing millions of dollars and working in good faith, the relationship faced serious challenges, much of which occurred behind the scenes. We've endured significant losses and mismanagement by Jesse or JC, which is Twojskicks' real name. I'm just gonna call him Twojskicks because everybody knows him by that. Either way, they said that he was mishandling funds and taxes, which only came to light after we got involved. They say that Twojskicks engaged in self-dealing, stole product, and embezzled company funds. His attempts to portray himself as a victim ignores the reality of his actions. We've been working to return full ownership of Urban Necessities to him, and that process is nearly complete. So here's the entire timeline of what Twojskicks said that was happened. Like, this is what he said in the video. It's everything from May 2022 to June of 2025. So honestly, a lot to unpack here and a lot to kind of be like, okay, well, who's telling the truth? Because we basically have two completely different sides of the story. The shoe Surgen and the Urban Necessities team now are blaming Twojskicks, and Twojskicks is blaming Urban Necessities. I think we're probably going to find out something a little bit more concrete of like who to believe in, but for right now, it's really just a matter of like, you decide based on who you trust more. Do you trust Twojskicks and his integrity and what he's done for the sneaker game over the past however long ages, or the shoe Surgen and all of their integrity in that team? But that wraps it up for this week's Sneaky Sunday. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We do this every single week. We're giving you the latest information, news, drops, all of that good stuff. And if you want to catch another video, there'll be one right in that corner.